Now, Becky Lynch made headlines this week also in an interview that she gave to the New York Post. And she commented on the state of the WWE women's division, specifically the Raw women's division. She said, currently we're a little light on women with credibility on Raw. So any way I can give these women who are great credibility, give them a match, give them an outing and a showcase in a championship match, I think that only benefits everybody. It benefits the audience because we have more women that we care about and more women that I can beat. I need people on this level, but if nobody's getting any TV time, if nobody's getting any story time, then they can't rise up because nobody knows who the hell they are. And when asked which women she thought she had the potential to help elevate, she pointed to people like Zoe Stark, Indy Hartwell, Xia Li, and Candice LeRae. And she also mentioned Tegan Nox. She wants to wrestle Tegan Nox, which she will be doing on Raw tomorrow night. She says, I think Xia Li has such a cool character and we haven't seen any of these things from her. She had a little momentum and then it all stopped. It's hard to gain momentum if you don't get no TV time, and it's hard to get TV time if there is nothing to fight for. So Becky Lynch is in that position where she's not really worried about her job. So she can go out there and she can say these things that you know other women on the roster are thinking. These are the same things that I've been talking about on this show when it comes to the women's division in WWE. It's sort of the self-fulfilling prophecy where why can't some of these women get over? Look, some of these women will never get over at a high level. You call up prospects, you don't expect every prospect to pan out. But there's no reason that some of these women that she mentioned that are just bench warmers, that are sitting in the back with nothing to do, there's no reason to think that some of them can't get over. I've mentioned the cool vignettes they started airing for Xia Li when she first got called up to the main roster on SmackDown, right? The Protector. And they were actually very well done. 2 weeks later, she cut a promo in the back, a 20-second promo, that basically she didn't want to protect people anymore. So that was the end of that. And now they just use her on main event. Once you're slotted in that position, it's very hard to recover from that. She's lucky she didn't end up on the cutting block last week like so many other people. But Becky is absolutely right. It's the same thing that I have been talking about. It's hard to get over. It's hard to get momentum when you don't even get television time. And it's not enough to just get TV time. You can throw anybody on TV. What do you do with them once they're on TV? Is it one and done? Do you give them a story? Do you give them a character? Do you give them consistency where they can appear on television the next week and the week after that and the week after that? I've criticized Tony Khan in AEW for the same thing, just in general, not even just with the women. It's one thing to put somebody on TV, but if they vanish for 6 weeks, then what the hell is the point? You're just wasting television time. You may as well invest that in somebody else that you know you're going to use. So Becky is just speaking the hard truth here. She's not wrong when she mentions these people and the problems the WWE has with their women's division. And it's not just a Raw problem, it's a Raw and SmackDown problem. And all these people that she could potentially work with and help elevate, throw Jade Cargill on that list, right? To circle back to my idea. Jade is another one who would benefit from working with someone at the level that Becky is in that company. And clearly they have big plans for her, right? I'm sure Xia Li and Michin and Tegan Nox and all these people are looking at Jade and going, okay, well, she's going to leapfrog all of us because the woman looks like a star and she's being treated like a star. But it would be nice if they tried to give a little momentum to some of these other people as well. And then it was Becky Lynch against Tiffany Stratton. They headlined the show in an Extreme Rules match for the NXT Women's Championship. And both women took a beating here. I'm going to talk about Becky's injury in a little bit, but a few minutes into the match, Tiffany Stratton was already bleeding hard way from the head. Lynch pulled out a black bag at one point, and you would think there were thumbtacks inside. Nope, no thumbtacks. But it had Barbie doll parts. Body parts to various Barbie dolls. Since Tiffany Stratton is like a real-life Barbie doll, you see. So Becky slammed Tiffany onto the doll parts for 2. That just sounds so wrong. Onto the doll parts for 2. Stratton left the ring, so Becky started throwing various doll arms and legs at her. And Stratton would swat them away with a trash can lid. That was like her shield. Becky placed Tiffany into a trash can and draped her over the middle rope and then hit her diving leg drop. Tiffany fought back. She piled up a dozen chairs. Becky ended up slamming her onto them. Becky in here ended up bruising her elbow up pretty badly. And she suplexed Tiffany into the barricade outside on the floor. And then she went under the ring and she grabbed a table to the delight of everyone in the audience. Tiffany, though, hit her with a kendo stick. She set that table up outside, but then she lost track of where Becky was. She's like, where is she? She's searching for her. She pulls up the ring skirt, and the spot was Becky was going to blast her in the face with a fire extinguisher. She was going to hose her down. There was a delay of about 2 seconds, though, so Tiffany just sort of stared at her and waited, and then she got sprayed with the extinguisher. And Becky then pulled out Barbie. Not the doll. Mick Foley's old Barbie. A baseball bat, wrapped in barbed wire like she was Negan from The Walking Dead. And so she nails Tiffany once with the plastic bat, but missed her on the second swing. And the bat went flying in the general direction of the announcers. Booker T was backing away like his life was in danger. He didn't sign up for a plastic barbed wire bat, being ricocheted into his face. So Tiffany then drove Becky through the barricade by the timekeeper's area with a running handspring elbow. That looked good. Becky recovered, put Tiffany on the announce table. Tiffany escaped the manhandle slam attempt. She knocked Becky backwards, and Becky landed very neatly in one of those cushy announce chairs. So she's sitting in the chair. Tiffany then came off the announce desk with a cannonball, knocked the chair over with Becky in it. Stratton put Becky on the table outside the ring that she had set up earlier on. And she went up to the top rope, and she hit a giant swanton bomb off the top rope onto the table, which did not break. It bent, but it did not break. This woman is fearless. That came across very evident watching this match. She is not afraid to take risks, and she makes them look great. Stratton put Lynch in the ring, hit another senton bomb for a near fall. Becky rolled to ringside. Tiffany missed a prettiest moonsault ever to the floor, and Becky hit her with a manhandle slam. Back in the ring, Tiffany blocked a disarm her attempt with a roll-up, and Tiffany hit Becky with a rolling senton onto the pile of chairs in the ring. She went up, hit the prettiest moonsault ever. Unfortunately for her, she missed and landed on the chairs instead. Immediately got back up to her feet and got caught with a manhandle slam onto the pile of chairs, and Becky pinned her to retain the championship. My only critique of Stratton during this match, and it's a minor one because the effort from both these women was tremendous and the work was good, and Tiffany really impressed here. But she was a little too quick to get up after some big spots. It's possible they were being rushed for time, but she would take a big move, like even that last moonsault that she missed, hits this big moonsault off the top rope and lands on top of chairs and immediately gets right back up to her feet because the spot was, we're going to go into the manhandle slam. So she just got right back up. But there were a few times that happened here during the match. And it's just like you just move on to the next spot, right? Like they had to get their shit in and it just left no time for them to really sell some of the damage. But that would be my only critique here. This was excellent. But that is 2 Match of the Year contenders for Becky Lynch this year, including her cage match at Payback with Trish Stratus. Tiffany loses again. I think, though, that she gained a lot from her showing here. It's the second time that Tiffany Stratton has really shined in one of these hardcore type matches. Her Lights Out match with Wendy Chu last summer was really good. That was the one with the Legos in the ring. I remember thinking that was a very good match. I think she got hurt in that match, which is why Tiffany disappeared for a few months. Becky needed 11 stitches to close a sick gash on her arm. She posted a photo on her Instagram. That orange shit that you see spilling out of her arm, that's fatty tissue. It reminds me of the gash I got on my leg 5 years ago. It's disgusting. After the match, she acknowledged Tegan Nox in the crowd, and she is going to be defending her NXT Championship against Tegan on Raw tomorrow night, assuming she gets medically cleared. But she didn't break anything. She should be okay otherwise, so I don't see any reason why the match wouldn't happen.